About a year and a half ago, I didn't have a beard. Me and my wife had been married in 2010. Moved to a place we ended up not liking so I could go to school to be a veterinarian. She worked a job she sometimes doesn't like and other times hates. And in the span of a couple months or so, I found out I had been rejected from veterinary school for the second time. This time with no interview. I realized it was time to give up on my lifelong dream. I also realized my fallback plan was to climb the ladder and work retail, which wouldn't see better pay for a long time. We didn't know what we wanted to do with the rest of our lives. She had been distant for several months and was always talking to this guy on Instant Messenger, someone she used to know that lived a few states away. And she grew more distant. After months of this, I finally broke down, woke up around 4 a.m., took her phone into the next room, and snooped around on it. I found she was having meaningful conversations with this guy, and then sexting with him, and sending nude pictures to him. He never sent any back from what I could tell. I broke down and immediately told her I found this, and she didn't really seem too apologetic or sorry. Just shit, I got caught. And she admitted she wasn't happy, but didn't want a divorce. So I grew a beard, because I didn't want to do anything. She said she still loved me, but she was just so unhappy, trying to do anything to make her happier, and that this guy was a mistake. But she needed to talk to someone not depressed like me, so she would still talk to him, but no sexting. I tossed around the idea of divorce, but never went through it. Maybe I was afraid of being that divorced guy. I don't like to give up on things, and maybe I just couldn't give up or admit failure to my marriage. So we stayed together, and we worked on it. After a month or two, she told me she stopped talking to the other guy because she loved me and realized how much it hurt me. Most of the time she just seemed like she wanted us both to forget what she did. But I still haven't. Things got better. Several months later, we took a romantic trip away to a nearby city. It was nice. Things like that remind me how much I love spending time with her, and how I would hate to not have someone like that in my life. Someone so easy to talk to or be silent with, or just take walks, or talk about our common interests. We talked about moving to this city someday, to get a fresh start. A few weeks later, I got a job offer in that city, and she could easily transfer jobs to a new location. So we did it, and we were back to normal again, happy as ever. But I still can't help but regret staying with her sometimes. She didn't cheat on me physically, but emotionally by opening up to someone else and talking to them and not me, and sending nude pictures and sexting frequently. Some would say it's not so bad if it's not physical, but it is to me. It hurts just the same. I'm 100% confident that if this guy lived closer to her at the time, that she would have had sex with him on top of it. That's the part that makes me regret staying with her, because now that it's been a year and a half, I'm still so sure she would have done it. The fact that it wasn't physical was probably the only reason I decided to stay. Part of me wants her to mess up again, so I can easily say nope. That's it. You only get one pass, so I can just leave her. I've thought about it from time to time. I'd take the dog that she doesn't like much, and the rabbit she doesn't take care of. She'd want to keep the cat, but I'd take her too, because I love the cat. And when we purchased her, it was in my name, and so has every vet visit and flea pill. My name. I bet I could take her to court and win. We'd split our things fairly, find a way out of our renter's lease, and that'd be it. I'd live by myself again, and be lonely except for the few friends I've made. I'm thinking about this more lately, because I'm developing a bit of a crush on this woman I work with. We don't have a ton in common, but our personalities match pretty well. She has a long-term boyfriend, who she seems to hate but can't break it off because of the history. It was pretty easy to avoid this crush since technically she worked under me, but she's getting a promotion soon. So technically we'd be on the same professional level, and we will work together more. I know I won't cheat though. It would hurt too much. It's not fair, even though my wife did it to me. And I doubt she would. She just doesn't seem like that kind of person. But I can't help but imagine how my life would be. I had divorced my wife and moved to this new job by myself. I'm too chicken to talk to women, so I doubt I'd date much. But I'd definitely be trying to gather the courage to ask out this girl I work with. Only then I'd actually be able to act on it. But I won't. I'm still with my life. When we're together, it's good. We have our problems, like any couple. I wish she would leave the job she hates and find something else. But she's too afraid to be rejected after an interview. She wants to go back to school though and become a college-level professor and a writer. So I'm proud of her for that. But that won't be for another year or two, and I wish she would get a new job now. But she won't. It's frustrating. And she's gaining weight, but won't diet or exercise unless I push her and go with her. But it's not like it matters. She doesn't want to have sex much anyway. Maybe twice a month at the most. When she's on the computer or quiet, I wonder who she's talking to and what she's saying. If she's flirting, I get jealous over probably nothing. This is what she's done to me, and I doubt it'll ever go away. She doesn't know I have to deal with this now. She probably hopes I forgot, as she seems to. But I haven't. When this happened, she begged me not to tell anyone, not even my parents. She was ashamed. It was the one thing she seemed to get emotional over. She didn't want to lose what friends we had. She didn't want our friends to hate her. And I felt bad for her. And how lonely she would be. And how I wouldn't want my friends to know my dirty laundry if we stayed together. So I didn't tell anyone. No one knows. And I have no one to talk to. And no one to tell that I secretly think about getting a divorce and how I sometimes regret not doing it. But I can talk to random people on the internet. That's something.